Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? And so when I look at my life and my teens and 20s, lying all the time led to broken relationships, broken friendships, broken career opportunities. My body was a disaster. My mental was a disaster. And through honesty, all of those things started to come together in a healthy and in a healthy way, and in a way that has created a lot of longevity and momentum in my life around the actions that I've taken to get to where I am. Now, that doesn't mean it's not hard, right? Because people are like, well, I want to be honest with my husband. I want to be honest with my coworkers. I want to be honest at church. And they're terrified because of the potential shame and guilt and judgment and all the things that come along with honesty. But the hardest guilt and shame and judgment that we have, and this is in my opinion, is the guilt and shame and judgment that we have for ourselves when we go look in the mirror or we put our head on the pillow at the end of the night and know that we are not being honest. And you have to be willing to step into the fear of showing up and being who you are, because without that, you're never going to be able to discover your real truth. You're never going to be able to discover your real power, what it is that you're able to create, and who it is that you're ultimately able to be and become. And so what I found and what I discovered in my journey in tying into that why did I want to be honest? Well, because all I ever do is lie. And the more that I lie, the worse my life gets. So maybe if I'm honest, my life will get better. And that is one of the things that's really interesting, is that to go from this place of always being a yes man, always people pleasing, having no confidence, always putting myself in the position of putting my back against the wall by doing things that I didn't want to do. I was living a life that I didn't want to live. I was fucking miserable. I hated my life until the time basically I was 27 years old. I recognized that I was a constant liar and that I needed to be honest to have what I would call this out of body experience where I rebuilt my life and my identity in the truth that I decided, not the truth that was given to me from the people who hurt me, who or abused me, or my parents, or the church, or the school, or the community. And that is singularly one of the biggest game changers that I had in this journey, because I said to myself, even though this hurts a lot of times, right? Because what you're doing when you start to be honest is you're changing your identity and you're stepping into the person that you choose to be. And that's uncomfortable. And there's with that discomfort because you've never done it before. If you've never been on, let me tell you this. If you've never really, truly been honest before, one of the hardest things that you can do is be real and truly honest. And I suffered through that. My God, there were so many painful moments and experiences of stepping into my truth and my honesty where I was like, is this worth it? Is it worth it to show up every day and to be myself and to say that these are my wants, my needs, my interests, my boundaries? Is it worth it to say this is who I am mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually? Because knowing that doing so meant that I may ostracize people, knowing that doing so may mean that people will no longer want to be my friend, knowing that doing so may completely interrupt everything that I know about myself. And ultimately the answer was yes, because we hide, we run, we placate, we bend, we pretend to be who it is that other people want us to be, because it's a fucking survival mechanism. And there's safety in that dishonesty. There's safety in lying to yourself. But the hard part is when you do that, the thing that's going to happen is that when you die, you are going to die with regret. When you die, you are going to have a life unlived if you are not willing to step into honesty. And I know how frightening it is and terrifying and scary and uncomfortable it is, because I have done it. It is insane to me to go look at my life, to have been at the time 25 and be 350 pounds, smoking 2 packs a day, drinking myself to sleep, having my girlfriend find out that I cheated on her more times than I can count, having a brother tell me never talk to me again, having friends tell me that I'm a loser and a piece of shit. All of that was painful, but I had to choose the pain of continuing to live that life because I was always lying and pretending to be someone I wasn't. Or I could make the decision to face the fear of the discomfort of truth and step in ultimately to the identity that I wanted to create. And so if you are trying to figure out how to step into the identity that you want to create because you want to do it for you, the very first thing that I would suggest is that you take an inventory of the truth of your life. Ask yourself, am I in a fulfilling relationship? Am I satisfied with my health? Am I in friendships that bring me companionship and joy and trust? Am I in a career that makes me want to continue to strive to be better? Am I contributing to my community and society? Are the people in my life reciprocating back the energy that I'm putting in? Am I eating the right foods and working out and taking care of my mental health and doing all the things that I know I need to do to have a good life? And if the answer to those questions is incongruent with the person that you want to be, that's where you start. That's where you begin. You say to yourself, okay, this is not actually who I am. So I am going to start making micro steps forward